Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Karaoke Andy, and today I want to address some concerns that people have with TD365, the broker that I'm trading with. And I want to address them in this video. So let's jump right into it. Okay. So, full disclosure, I recently became a TD365 affiliate, but first and foremost, I am a client of them. I trade with them for 4 years now, and they are saving me thousands of euros per year in trading costs, right? And I'm with them because of their low and fixed spreads. You probably will not find a cheaper broker, and I would never endorse a broker that I'm not trading with myself. But I understand that some people might have concerns, right? And they are out there. So I want to take the opportunity and address them in this video. Skepticisms about TD365 include usually the high leverage. They offer 200 or up to 200 leverage, right? And high leverage CFDs are banned in the EU. That's an issue that some people raise. They are an offshore broker, and they are regulated by the SCB in the Bahamas. And that's not a tier 1 regulator, so people are skeptical about that too. And you see online some mixed reviews. Yeah? Get that probably with every broker. But there are also some scam allegations, and they point out that TD365 runs a market maker model. So I want to talk about that too. And then finally, my bias as a TD365 affiliate. Let's start with the high leverage issue, right? The concern here is that the 200 times leverage is far exceeding the EU caps. In the EU, you get maximal 30 times leverage since 2018. And some see that as risky or a red flag. So let's maybe do a little bit of education here about leverage. And folks, I will keep it very basic, and I will simplify or oversimplify here. But still, it's probably important, if you don't understand that, that you look at leverage, what that actually means and is good for. Yeah. So let's say you want to trade the DAX, the German stock index. I trade the DAX. It's an instrument that you can trade with many brokers, also with TD365. Let's say you would just conventionally want to trade the DAX, right? Yeah, so you would have to buy a lot of shares of companies that are listed in the DAX, right? And no, not just one share of each company. You would have to buy a hell of a lot more shares because that all is within the proportions matching the index weightings, right? For example, the market capitalization and things like that. So you have to buy a lot of shares, and the combined value of these shares is basically where the DAX is currently trading at. When I made this video, it was 23,766, right? So euros. That's what you would need to pay. So, and then you trade the DAX at €1 point, right? Roughly. So DAX goes up 1 point, and then you sell everything, you made €1. Yeah, congratulations. So if you want to trade the DAX at €5 a point, which is a little bit more realistic, you would have to buy all these shares 5 times. So you would have to spend roughly 120,000 euros, right, to trade the DAX at €5 a point. So, and guys, before you beat me up here in the comments over this, I know I largely oversimplified. right? To get 5 euros a point, your portfolio needs 5 euros divided by 63 million, and that is roughly 0.000008% of the DAX market cap, or roughly 120,000. Very rough estimate, and assuming linear scaling. Yeah, my point here is simple. You need the hell of a lot of more cash to trade assets like the DAX at 5 euros a point without specialized instruments and high leverage. So, and then here on the right side, you see a TD365 trading ticket. You see here is the amount that is 5 euros a point, can trade the DAX at 5 euros a point. And you can do that with just depositing roughly 600 euros. That's the margin requirement to trade the DAX at 5 euros a point with TD365. And the 200 times leverage gives you a notational value, yeah, of that 120,000, right? That you would otherwise need in that conventional way of trading the DAX at 5 euros a point, right? So that's why a leverage actually is a good thing. But of course, it people think it's dangerous, and yeah, you need to know how to use leverage the right way, right? You need to apply proper risk management. You have to understand leverage, and then you can use it to your advantage. So people sometimes seem to have the idea or the fear, high leverage, I don't want to have anything to do with it. That's so dangerous. I can lose a lot of money. Yeah, as I said, you need to understand how that works, right? So just because you have high leverage does not mean that you need to trade at a big size, right? So you don't need to trade the DAX at 5 euros a point. With TD365, you can trade much bigger size, and also then the margin requirements are proportionate, right? But you can also trade the DAX at, let's say, 50 cent a point, and then you need only to deposit 60 euros to meet the margin requirements to put on a trade at that size, right? Of course, you should deposit more, so your trade size and stop loss together define your risk, and conservatively, you should risk something like 2 or 3% per trade. Anyway, yeah, just because there is high leverage, that doesn't mean you need to trade big size. You can, at very fine granularity, you can define your trading size just by manipulating this text field here, right? So I encourage you to manage your risk carefully and use high leverage with caution. I have to, right? Because and that's not true for only for clients of TD365. There's a high percentage of retail traders that lose money. So always use proper risk management. TD365 offers tools like stop losses. They help, use them, but always trade responsibly. And in this video, I want to educate about or address concerns about TD365. This is not a video that contains any financial advice, right? As a beginner, start maybe with paper trading. Yeah, you can set up a demo account with TD365 for free. And once you know what you're doing, once you learned about leverage, about risk management, about trading, you need some sort of edge, right? You can maybe deposit a small amount and choose a size that you're comfortable trading with and that you should reasonably trade as a beginner, right? Maybe 50 cents a point, and then work your way up, and always use a stop loss and proper risk management. Good to know with TD365, you can't end up owing the broker money. They provide negative balance protection. You can only lose what you deposit. So again, no financial advice. Always trade with caution. Okay. Let's talk about TD365 being an offshore broker. Is TD365 unregulated? No, it is regulated by the SCB in the Bahamas, which ensures compliance with licensing conditions. And believe me, these days, it's not that easy to set up a brokerage anywhere in the world, and also the Bahamas has strict rules. But yes, it's not a tier 1 regulator like the ASIC. But while it is not that, TD365, in my opinion, enhances trusts by holding clients' funds in a segregated account with Barclays Bank in London. Yeah, so your money is not somewhere on the Bahamas, it's actually with Barclays Banks, and they offer negative balance protection. I already explained what that is. And noteworthy is also that TD365 belongs to the Trade Nation Group, and the sister company Trade Direct 365 is actually regulated by the ASIC in Australia. That suggests that the broader Trade Nation Group in fact has experience with stricter oversight. And also, for EU, EEA and UK clients, TD365 does not target these regions directly, and that aligns with regulatory restrictions post the 2018 CFD leverage caps that we sadly have in the EU. And I personally, in 4 years that I trade with them, have never faced issues with fund security or unfair practices. And I think that aligns with TD365's commitment to transparency. All right, let's talk about the concerns of TD365 being a market maker or running a market maker model, some scam allegations and mixed reviews. Yeah, of course, any broker will have some mixed reviews. Some people will be dissatisfied, or simply angry, or probably don't understand. But they're entitled to their opinion, and so negative reviews exist, right? So some reviews, particularly on Trustpilot and Reddit, they allege issues like slippage, stop-loss manipulation, or withdrawal delays for profitable traders, which claim that TD365 operates as a market maker profiting from client losses. Others, like Reliable Forex Broker, call it untrustworthy due to regulation negative feedback. Okay, let's address that quickly. Does TD365 favor losing traders or manipulate profitable accounts? And that's something that we need to talk about, right? So I'm with them for 4 years. I know many traders who are clients of TD365 and are perfectly happy with them. In those 4 years, I personally have never faced issues like unlikely slippage or delayed withdrawals, even during winning streaks. So slippage, what is slippage? Slippage means basically that your order does not get filled at your desired price. Because maybe during a news release or something like that, price moves so fast that there is in between, there is not enough liquidity, not enough orders, so you only get a fill later, and that can work in your favor. Yeah, so you actually get filled at a better price, which we call positive slippage, or it can work against you, and that would be negative slippage, right? And while I have encountered slippage, with TD365 in times where you would expect that. Look at the CPI release, or any big news event. Yeah, then the market moves like very, very fast. And then, I experience slippage, sometimes in my favor and sometimes against me. But in a way that it just out of thin air, without any good reason for that, like a news release, that there would be slippage stopping me out, or something like that. That never happened, right? And also, my withdrawals are processed within maybe 2 or 3 working days. Yeah, but then I usually have the money on my bank account. There was never any issue. I've never heard from anybody having an issue with withdrawals. TD365 has treated me fairly, right? So, but do they run a market maker model? In a way, but they don't inherently profit from losses. And that's important to know. TD365 is a proper broker. They earn money from the spread. That's the bid-ask commission. Other brokers maybe charge additional fees on top. TD365 is just happy with low and fixed spreads. But yeah, that's what they make money from. And to be honest, a broker wants that you trade as big a size as possible and as often as possible. That's why they provide you with all those nice tools, a nice trading platform, a nice charting package, all those indicators. They want you to trade more. So sometimes it's in the self-interest of the trader to restrict trading a little bit. I believe that less is more, but a broker wants you to trade more. And if you lose and blow up, you don't trade anymore. So that's not in the interest of a broker, right? Because they earn from spreads. They want that you are profitable. They want that you continue trading. Yeah, and they may hedge large trades with liquidity providers. Yeah, but that only ensures that fair execution, for traders who put on large trades. Yeah, I'm not in that category. I don't know. 5 euros a point in the DAX, 20 euros a point in the FTSE, or what I trade these days. Unless you are Tom Hugard, who always maxes out the allowed trading size, you're probably not in that category too, right? So, and honestly, why would I care how the broker operates behind the scenes? As long as I am treated fairly, my trades get executed, I get the prices and the fills that I want, and I get the payouts. Why would I care? If they want to hedge my trades or trade against me or whatever, yeah, bring it on. I don't care. I lose often enough. I would suggest that's not such a good idea. That's why when I trade live, I always say, don't do what I do, because I also lose. Yeah. So anyway, important to understand is they don't have an incentive that you lose, right? So, and just try them out. See for yourself. Just start with something like 100 euros. Deposit 100 euros and execute a trade at 50 cents a point. See the spreads and execution for yourself. That's what I would recommend. And if you don't want to do that, at least open a demo account. The demo account, the demo environment is like the real platform. You get a good idea how the execution works there. So, that's what I would recommend. Also, yes, there are negative reviews with every broker, but I want to also point out that there are 272 traders on Trustpilot that rate TD365 highly for support and execution. And also just my peeps here on X, like the Viking. He has done some comparison and found out that TD365 is cheaper than CMC, IG, or plus 500. And quotes the source here, Trader Tom, who made an extensive broker comparison. And my friend here, my mate Capital Pundit, is actually the guy who inspired me to make this video, because we had a very fruitful discussion. We were talking about prop firms versus brokers, and he raised some concerns about TD365, and that was actually an exchange of actual arguments. So I'm very thankful again, brother. Thank you for your input. This video is basically, that's for you. So shout out to Capital Pundit. He inspired me making this video. Anyway, in conclusion, for me, TD365 is the best broker out there. Simply for that reason that you don't find a cheaper CFD broker, and the fees, the spreads add up. In my case, those are thousands of euros per year that I end up having in my pocket and not paying for another broker that offers higher spreads, right? Is TD365 perfect in every regard? No, but they offer a whole of a lot of things that convinced me. Yeah. So my thought is this. I think I'm experienced enough to understand leverage. I want leverage as much as possible. I like high leverage. So, and if I want high leverage, I don't find it in the EU. I need to look offshore, right? So there is no other way. Offshore regulators might be less stringent than tier 1 regulators. That's just the pill that I need to swallow. And that's also something that you for yourself need to consider. And I always encourage, do your own due diligence. Ask the following questions. Is TD365 actually in the SCB database? You can probably check that. Is that broker well established and around for many years? Yeah, you can check that. Are there good reviews? Yeah. See for yourself and talk to other people who trust TD365. Yeah. Do your own due diligence, always with any financial decision. Yeah. The video that the Viking Bingo Borg here mentioned is this one by Tom Hugart. Put the link here, but maybe it's easier to just go to Tom's YouTube channel and search for Tom Hugart broker comparison instead of typing in this cryptical thing here. Yeah. 3 years ago, Tom made a video where he compared many brokers, and TD365 came up on top, right? And also, when you watch Tom's live streams, yeah, he also trades with TD365. But I am an affiliate, Tom is not, right? So he has no affiliations with them other than being their client. But he obviously also trusts them, just doesn't openly promote them, right? Tom wants to stay independent, that he can make also broker comparison videos like this. Yeah. So I trade with TD365 because of the low fixed spreads. That's why I trade with them, right? So yeah, they're also regulated. They offer high leverage. They have negative balance protection. You get a free L. Brooks course, inside bar after inside bar, you know. Look at those spreads. That's why I'm with them, right? So here's also, I put that slide back in here because it's important to see. If you, for example, trade the FTSE, the UK stock index, at 20 euros a point, the FTSE is a slower index than the DAX, so you need to increase the size a little bit. So 20 euros a point, nothing outrageously high. Let's say you trade 5 trades per day, fire 5 trades per day, 20 euros a point. Yeah, and compare here a broker like eToro, who has many clients trade with eToro. I have no idea why. The spreads are very, very wide. Yeah, so the same trade costs a 0.6 point spread in TD365 and the 1.5 point spread with eToro. So if you trade like 5 times a day, 20 euros a point, yeah, and on all trading days available per year, 250 days, that's 22,500 euros that you keep in your pocket, right? So just by trading with TD365 and not with eToro. So just compare for yourself. Go to the brokers' websites. Yeah, the spreads are usually not fixed. They are from, so be careful. When there is high volatility, those spreads go up. With TD, they will always be low and fixed, right? Yeah, but compare. Or use Tom's comparison video. Watch at least that, and make a simple calculation for yourself. This is a lot of money, ladies and gentlemen. So anyway, after I addressed now some concerns with TD365 and you come to the conclusion, okay, maybe I want to give it a shot, please kindly consider using my affiliate link to open an account with TD365. Yeah, you can type this in, you can scan this QR code. I will also put a link up in the video description that you can just simply click on. There is no extra cost for you, but I will get a small commission that helps me to support my channel and to make more videos like this. Anyway, if you have enjoyed this video, give it a like, consider subscribing to my channel. Otherwise, see you on the X platform. Thanks for your attention. Take care. Bye bye.